Hello, it's Amy, and today I'll be building an ErgoDash. The ErgoDash is an open-source ergonomic split keyboard created by omkbd. The ErgoDash will be my first time trying columnar stagger, which is apparently a more ergonomic layout as each finger will have to stretch less to reach the keys. I ordered some PCBs from JLC PCB. The minimum order quantity was 5, but I'm only using 2 for this build. I'm powering this keyboard with these two USB-C Pro Micros. I will be building my ErgoDash with this tenting case by Clomi. I had it cut from clear 3mm thick acrylic by a local acrylic supplier. The switches I'm using in this build are Gateron Cap Milky Yellow V2s. I will also be using these Durox stabilizers. As for the keycaps, I will be using these blank DSA keycaps. I can touch type, so I don't really need the legends. Here are the various screws and spacers I will be using, as well as the TRS jacks to connect the two halves. Finally, we have some resistors and rubber feet. Quick pause. It was recently pointed out to me that these are not resistors, but are in fact diodes. The first thing I did was flash the Pro Micros to ensure that they work, because once soldered on, they are a huge pain to remove. I then lubed the switches with Krytox 205G0 and Krytox 105G0. These Gateron cap switches are interesting because they have this hole in the bottom housing to avoid the squelch created by over-lubing and an abnormally long spring. The switches are fine, a bit scratchier than I would have liked, but a unique experience for the price. I also wrapped the end of my stabilizer bars and lubed them with Krytox 205G0. I did this build one half at a time, so I completely finished the first half before starting with the second half. The first thing I did was bend and solder in the resistors. It would probably have been more efficient to bend them as a group, but every time I attempt this, I fail miserably and I end up having to redo each one individually anyways, so I just did this one by one. I then moved on to the Pro Micro header and TRS jack. Then I soldered in the switches and the Pro Micro. Despite checking 3 times, I soldered one of my resistors in the wrong way, so I had to go back and fix this. This did not go very well, and the pad for that resistor is hanging by a thread, but the problem was fixed, so I just covered it up with electrical tape. I got my standoff and screw orders mixed up, so I was unable to attach the second backplate, but since I'm using the tented version of the case, this isn't really an issue. I did not get long enough screws to tent the keyboard, so it's actually not tented, but this is something I will do in the future. Here I'm sticking on the rubber feet. I do not know why I stuck them on the back plate as well as the tent legs. Thankfully, the ErgoDash supports VIA, so I don't need to reflash every time I want to change something, which is very often. This is the current key map that I'm using. It's definitely not finished, and I'm constantly changing things as problems arise. I was very surprised at how easily I adapted to this new layout. At first, I made a lot of mistakes, especially with the keys near the center of each hand, like C and M, as I usually need to stretch a lot more to reach these. Initially, my typing speed dropped from its usual 100 words per minute to around 80 words per minute, but after a few hours, not only did I get back to my usual speed, I also managed to beat my previous record of 114 words per minute. My new record is 117, so the difference is tiny, but I do think having to stretch less is quite beneficial for my typing. I think I managed to adapt to the new layout really quickly because of my tiny hands and my very conventional typing technique. Basically, I love this keyboard and I will definitely be building more Ergo boards in the future.